So today I wanted to talk a little bit about borrowing capacity and give you some insight into the things that impact on your borrowing capacity and things that you can do to potentially improve that capacity if you're looking at getting into the market. So the easiest way to do that is to take an example. Let's look at a couple who are earning incomes of $80,000 a year and $50,000 a year, so a combined monthly income before tax of around 11 grand a month. Their living expenses are around $3,800 a month, and if they have no consumer debt, so no credit cards or anything like that, their ballpark borrowing capacity as a starting point is around $680,000. If we then go and add in a credit card with a $6,000 limit, their borrowing capacity drops to $660,000. Add in a 25 grand car loan being paid off over 7 years, so that's a repayment of around $400 a month. That knocks around 60 grand off their borrowing capacity. So we're now looking at a borrowing capacity of around 600,000. If you throw in another interest-free facility, so financing furniture or laptops or anything like that, and say that's got a limit of about $4,000, you're now down to around about $580,000 as a borrowing capacity. One of the biggest impacts on this we find where things can be fairly easily changed to improve borrowing capacity is looking at credit card limits that you don't really need. Every $1,000 credit card limit that you've got available reduces your borrowing capacity by about $3,500 on a home loan. Bear in mind that the banks calculate borrowing capacity on the limit of the credit card as if you were repaying it over 3 years. They now have to ignore the minimum repayment when looking at affordability. So that can have a pretty big impact. What I do recommend is let's sit down and have a look at your situation as it is before you make any changes. Credit cards are a little bit harder to get, so we do want to start with a strategy before you start cancelling things or making changes so that we can put you in the best possible position both for your home loan application and for your long-term financial needs. If you want to have a chat about it and understand your position in a bit more detail, give me a call.